My name is Judge25, you can call me JT for short. So, welcome to the video. So, this is just a short video for, well, newbies, those new to the game, those who haven't bought any um, gems yet. Gems are for the real world currency. So, basically, building a deck out of pure effort, so to speak. Alright, so this is a green deck, all green deck. Its base is a pre-made deck that was given by the game, and for additional cards, I used wild cards. So if there is a card that I need under any card, as long as I can convert it from a wild card, then I'll do so. So the goal of this deck is to deliver high damage as fast as possible. So in the early turns, like turn 3, 4, 5, I should have a substantial amount of damage already dealt to the player. To the opposing player, rather. So as you can see in this gameplay, so just playing on land there, I cast Pulp Collector. But one thing to take note of is the creature that's in the middle. That's the one that I'm talking about, which is the Untamed Kavo. So I just enchanted him. So it's now 5/5. Now one thing to take note of for Untamed Kavo, it's a 2 to cast, 2/2 creature, but it has a kicker. So if you pay the kicker, which is 3 mana cost, it'll come out on the battlefield, which is 5/5. It has Vigilance, it has Trample. So it's a very good creature early game. And you can buff it up with any enchantment or instant that you have in your arsenal available. So how this starts is, I would have the elves. It's important that you really have the elves in this particular deck because you want to have as much mana as quickly as possible so that you'd be able to summon a lot of creatures, of course, but most especially the Untamed Kavo, which if you want it to be a 5/5 creature on the get-go, you have to have 5 mana source right then. And that's a pretty good exchange. That in my opinion, that's my core card or core creature in my deck. I wouldn't build anything else. And the other thing, an early creature to take note of is on the left, which is Pelt Collector. So Pelt Collector, once you cast it, it'll go. It's a one to cast 1/1 creature. But as the game goes, as long as it's been cast early, whatever creature that you cast as after that, which has an attack power higher than Pelt Collectors, you would add a +1/+1 counter on it. It's permanent, it'll not end at the end of the turn. So once it reaches 4/4, it'll gain trample. So based on some cards that you saw, this deck comprises mostly of early cast strong creatures with trample. There's in the title of this deck that I have is Step on You, so go figure, right? Now just after this gameplay, you can skip forward to the content of my deck. You can just skip it forward, or if you want to see the rest of the gameplay, hey, you can do so. So it's up to you. So if you're staying to finish the gameplay, it's good. But if not, then I'll see you on deck building after a few minutes. And welcome back. Okay, so this is the content of my deck. So as you can see, I have Adventurer's Impulse. That's one thing that I would suggest. It's a sorcery card, so you can look at the top 3 cards of your library. You can reveal if it's a creature or a land card, and put it in your hand. So it's important to dig for your cards. So of course, the elves, like I mentioned, never go wrong with that. And the Pup Collector, early cost, early casting, very good. So never forget. Okay, now we have our instants. So anything you can get your hands on that's early, that's instant, and has a low casting cost, it's a good deal, right? So it's very important that you have that to, of course, shock your opponents. And my Untamed Kavu right there. So it has Vigilance and Trample, and also has a kicker, like I mentioned, and Blanchwood Armor. So it's part of the pre-base decks. Colossal Majesty to draw the cards, and Crash of the Ramparts. This thing, you need that to destroy enchantments. Okay? It's very important, because you're gonna lose most of the time if there's enchantments like life, gaining life. Um, and this one, a legendary creature, Goreclaw, and my favorite, Carnage Tyrant. It's trample and hexproof. Never go wrong with that. And of course, Multani. So it has reach, it has trample, and the number of cards, land cards that you have, that's his attack power and toughness. And if he gets destroyed, you can pay 2 and bring him back from your graveyard. So he's pretty much unkillable if you'd be able to get your hands on him. Of course, Prodigious Growth and Vivian's Invocation. So as long as you have that, you'd be able to cast any card without the mana cost and deal damage equal to the creature's power to an opponent's deck. Alright, so you can pause the game, look through, or you can pause the video, look through the contents of my deck, see if you want to put those or not. Just like I said, this is just a guide. This is my take on it. So always remember to always use your wild cards. Don't be stingy about them. All right. And any suggestions? Just put a comment on the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay. Right. So thank you for watching, and please don't forget to put a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content. And if you want to follow me in live stream, you can go to twitch.tv/judge25. See you there.